Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Game and we're returning to Order of Battle World War II, where we are playing as the British in the World War II Burma campaign. We're trying to pull back or push back the Japanese from their attack on Singapore. We've won the air battle, I would say, and we are very comfortably in control of the air scenario right now, but we do see that the Japanese are bringing an enormous amounts of troops down this center lane, and they have mobilized another wave of attacks here on the western bank of the river. So that is something that we need to deal with. We have very low on troops, but let's see what's going to happen. Oh, we do have some more troops that we could use. Yeah, no, I think these guys are all in very decent position, so I think for now we don't really want to be using them over here. Well, I suppose we could move the artillery piece at least a little bit over here, so that potentially next turn we could at least reach over there, and I think that's going to be fine, yeah. Yeah, so let's hand it over towards the Japanese and see what they're going to do. Attacking our tank with very devastating effects, and it's a little bit choppy up here again. Mostly reinforcing units, sending some forces towards over there, that's interesting. Shifting these tanks around, interestingly. More tanks pushing in from the west over there, but they are taking their time across that river, which is somewhat understandable. And I suppose very soon we are going to see the famous Japanese artillery attacking our engineers there, but I hope that at least they will be taking some damages, and they are. Yeah, lots of artillery firing over here. More Japanese troops also on the northern bank over here, where we had actually hoped that we had cut them back a little bit over there. So, well, let's see whether that is going to be coming to any conclusion over there or not. So you guys, I suppose you really do want to move up. Okay, let's send you up, and then I think we can wait a turn over here and see what's going to come out of that. We've got these Gurkhas. We know that there are some Japanese troops around here. On the other hand, we do know that there are Japanese troops up here as well, and they are very strong, so these engineers are not necessarily capable of holding them out, pushing them away over there. We've got these anti-tank pieces which seem a little bit pointless over here, so I think it does make sense to move you down here at the very least. Then we need to see whether we might as well mine that field as well, although I think given the costs that would be not too useful. Let's start out over here. So you could attack these guys, but they'd still be stronger than you. Let's attack these guys here first. Reduce their abilities at least a little bit. Disrupt them at least a little bit. This is, I think, a good way to phrase it, maybe. Let's pull you guys back. You do need to come out of there. You, I think, are alright where you are. You're comparatively well dug in. So are you and you. So I think I want to keep most of these guys where they are. I suppose these Australians can come on a little bit towards the north over here. Blend into the river there. That's fine. Yeah, and then we've got more British infantry over here. Could have, of course, moved you up. You guys here are extremely vulnerable, it seems. You're not that well dug in. And yeah, so let's move you up over here. Attack these guys because they're in the river, they are very demoralized, and I think that's a nice way to inflict some damage there. Right, fantastic. We have also the Typhoon over here, which could do some damage, I suppose. Especially against these tanks that are currently sitting down here in the river. Also against the artillery, of course. Down here it's also starting to look a little bit dodgy. Now let's start out with the tanks, I think. All these guys over here. Let's start out with the tanks. Do some damage there, and I think that's fine. Yeah, that's good. Right. And then you can potentially reinforce here, can't you? Yeah, let's do that. Got more fighters here that we could send over here, but they'd be only pretty much harassing these guys, so I don't think that's necessarily a good idea there to use them in that fashion. This A piece is fine, I don't want to do too much there. We've got some artillery piece over here. And we've got a couple of commando units that are back here in the enemy rear lines. I had hoped that these guys would be a little bit more aggressive, but apparently we are not doing much over there. So that dulls back the question of what we are going to do with you guys. So I suppose attacking this tank piece there isn't the worst idea. Yeah, and we are doing some damage against these guys, so that's nice to see. You could move up a long way over here. I'm not sure whether we really want to do that. And we've got you. You could be doing a lot of damage here. Oh, interestingly enough, they do have an anti-tank unit up there in the rear. I mean, so do we, but... So move up the Gurkhas. Move in the tank. Be ready to deal some damage there. Is that the plan? We know about these guys up there. We know about these guys up here. We've got another artillery piece here. And we could be well trying to use them against some of these positions. Start wearing them down a little bit over there is what I'm thinking. We've also got this bomber, which I suppose should try to deal some damage over here. Let's try to do more. Not so much trying to damage as trying to cause some issues for these guys. Oh, interesting. You'd still be supported by that unit, even though we are attacking with an anti-tank unit. Still, I think this is a good trade because we need to blunt their advantage over here a little bit, and I think that's a good choice to be doing this over here. Yeah, and then the Gurkhas can immediately attack over here. Yeah, nice. Not so nice that we are, of course, also losing a little bit there, but somewhat to be expected as well. Spend some money to reinforce these guys. The tanks... Honestly, I think over here we are probably also just gonna reinforce you. And I think that's fine. Could do some mortar strikes over here. Not the worst idea. Maybe. Also reinforcing you wouldn't be the worst idea. And then do we want to get these scouts more into contact with someone over here? I mean, you're not really that great at attacking infantry. You are a scout unit after all. And I think you probably might even be worse at closer ranges. Okay, let's come over here. Yeah, you'd be not doing that hot over there. This is alright-ish. You potentially want to come up over here. Hold that position basically. That's fine, yeah. Are you losing a little bit of organization? Yes, you are. -1. -1. Yeah, it's a little bit of a war of attrition over there, really. You guys can't attack anyone. That's okay. You guys can't attack anyone. I mean, you could come out of here and try to attack these guys while they are in the river. And we'd been doing more damage than otherwise, but we'd also be moving out into the open, so I'm kind of reluctant doing that. I think we do need to come down here to start, be ready and reinforce the position over there. We've got this fighter unit. Really, do we want to do anything with you? You could just land as well, honestly. You guys do land. That's alright. And then this infantry unit. Let's move you up over here. So that we can start to move in there. And these Australians can make their way back into this little town here. That's fine. You're fine where you are. Fine where you are. The Buffalo, yeah, we don't want to launch it right now, I think. Spitfire. We might do a little bit of a sweep over here. They've got airfields, I think, over here. Over there and over here. Yeah, that's alright. Good. What else have we got? Yeah, do stay where you are. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. We might want to move you down here, since there are a couple of tanks here, and we might want to start engaging them. I think that's not the worst idea. Another Spitfire over here. I might just move you up here just to... Oh dear God. Look at all of that. Many more tanks. Okay, we'll need to shift this guy back up. This is so horrible. Oh, we have a cheaper upgrade path for you? Can't really see which it is because we can't afford it anyway. Yeah, but let's launch you so that we have you ready to go next time around. Right. Japanese turn again. Healing. Moving around over there. Pulling back a couple of units. Ah, oh, too bad. Losing a lot of good units over there. They are outflanking us over here, I think, or trying to do that anyway. And they are getting this. I was way too uncareful here. Yeah, and they're starting to push up over here in the west. Oh, interestingly, you are attacking directly attacking the forts there. Yeah, lots of damage being taken and dealt over there, but still. Nice. Yeah, and this guy's simply being overrun completely. Yeah, and over here it's starting to look threatening as well. Jesus, this is so many units on their side. -3? This is harsh. This is truly harsh. We might need to pull back from over here. -4? Have you lost anything? Engineers can be extremely weak units. It's a little bit irritating, honestly. Well. Oof. Still a horrible situation up here. Situation in the center is pretty bad as well, I would say. Nevertheless, at least we have some good things that are starting to look up a little bit over here, I would say. So for example, what we could do is we could use our anti-tank piece here to attack this tank. Do a lot of damage against it. Also lose a little bit. Then come down with this heavy infantry here. And be dealing some damage against this tank. So that's destroyed. We're going to move up on the road so that we are blocking these forces from advancing any further. And then I suppose we could either attack these two guys. Can we attack over here? Yeah, we can. So that's lovely. We can also, of course, attack over there, but I think the... Right, so have the anti-tank unit attack the tank. I think that's reasonable. I would love to see this attack here being a little bit more successful, really. Got these engineers. They, I think, do need to come up over here. Although they do need to rest up a turn if at all possible. And over here I think we do simply need to pull back. These engineers are way too exhausted. Let's pull you back all the way over here. Yeah. Sort of re-establish a line over there. I think that's alright like that. Yeah, and then we're gonna try and do some damage here in the center position. So how about the aircraft here? Could try to do more damage against these guys. Wouldn't be the worst idea. So the big question is really, do we want to use our Gurkhas against this tank or against this supporting piece over here? And I think the answer is the supporting piece, which means that our artillery here will also be engaging that. Four, 7. Bring you over here. Let's bomb there. Let's move out of the way. They're now down to less organization. Could move up there even. And be a little bit in their rear and be a little bit more annoying. Let's attack here first. -3, that's very lovely. -0, that's also very good to see. And very nice indeed. Right, and that does leave some room to maneuver around here. And I suppose the tank here is really the thing that's potentially going to annoy me the most. So let's attack this guy with our tank. Our tank is fine. Yeah, good. Okay, so at least we kicked him back, so that's nice to see. We could move up, of course, but I don't want to. Could move either you up or you, but honestly, there's no point doing that, I feel. So let's instead try to whittle away at the flanks over here as well. Less units and less organization does mean we have a nicer time attacking over here. Still slightly worse than expected. Can attack again though. -2, that's much better than expected. -1 though, that is sort of taking that benefit away. But yeah, that's basically all of the units over here. So we don't have much more reserves to deal with anything over here. These guys could come down, but I doubt whether they're going to make it all the way over here. You guys do need to rest up if at all possible. Yeah, that's basically it over there. No reserves, only some aircrafts. But they'd be incapable of doing anything really. So let's move up over here so that at least we are getting an overview of what's happening here. Even though we can't do much. Are we doing any sort of at least morale damage when we do that? Doesn't look like it. No. Fine. Good, okay, let's look at the situation up here. These guys, I think, do need to come back behind our lines. Let's move the APs out of the way a little bit. And then you guys are... Well, you could move up and do a lot of damage over here. It's not like you don't. Similarly over here, if we do attack over here, we are capable of defeating them entirely. Nearly at least. Also got this piece. Let's try to deal more damage here in the enemy rear. I think you're at least doing something over there, something good. You've moved, haven't moved, but I think you're fine where you are. So the big question really is, do we want to advance out of cover over here? I think probably the answer to that is no. That is a supply field. They've got a lot of supply over there, and they're basically never going to suffer from any supply issues unless we do strike over here and sort of cut these guys off. On the other hand, we'd be starting to suffer supply losses if we were to lose this position. Which is maybe why I want to keep someone in here. But you are in horrible shape. You can move up though, so that's lovely. Let's start out with the Australians. And that was a dot. I should have moved that differently. You're still entrenched over here, so I don't want to move you out of there entirely. These guys have now moved up, but I think it's alright-ish. Okay, so let's simply reinforce you guys. Yeah, that's alright, good. Okay, who else have we got? Yeah, Deuce. No, wait a minute. You can potentially at least send a mortar this way. You need to sleep. You are honestly fine for now. It's not that expensive, so let's try to reinforce you. You're fine where you are. Fine where you are. Spitfire. Okay, there's no point in really attacking anyone, I think. Nevertheless, let's try to do it anyway. The Typhoon. You are actually capable of dealing damage. Type 97. I think it's probably what we want to weaken here. Yeah, and that's it. Don't have any more units, and we can't buy more either. Oh, interesting. They are attacking from their fortified positions there. Healing up there. Actually pulling back a couple of units there. Really? You're catching them again? No. Jesus. That's a bad play from my side. Anything around these support units was really, really bad play there. You're flanked, but I think that went decent alright there. And fort is probably gonna fall. Yeah, it is. You are pushing up, but at least the river is slowing it down more than anything else, really. You're now attacking that infantry unit. Hopefully taking a lot of damage in return. You are. Lovely. Yeah, now you'll be attacking this guy and he'll be blown up. Yes. Ah, damn it. And now these tanks are coming in where I really, really would have needed that. These guys are being bombarded there in the river. Just being obliterated, really. Speaking of obliteration, let's try to kill these guys. Move up to the airfield over there. Is that actually... No, we can't capture this with this unit because it's a commander unit. Still potentially good. Okay, so how do things look up over here? We know there's a unit over there. We definitely want to reinforce these guys. Our engineers here are starting to look up much, much better than before. I think we need to pull back our tanks towards this positioning over here. Simply so that we can do something about these guys. So... why are you not supporting? Ah, because there's another unit there. Okay. So let's deal with these guys first. Defeated them up there, that's lovely. Now you should be receiving support, and you do. -2. Good. Engineers, you're gonna come forward. And you're gonna start doing some damage against these guys, who are very well dug in. So we are gonna suffer a lot here. They're firstly going to lose organization, and secondly going to lose all of their entrenchment. So that's nice. Good. You guys can move up, and I think we will move you up. Yeah. Let's get you over here. And you potentially need to rest up, but I think we can move bomb over there for one turn. Let's try to reduce that. Attack now. Good. How about the Gurkhas? You'd be able to deal some damage over here. Try to get you over here. Deal more damage against these guys there. I think that basically settles it for most of these guys, except for this support unit. There's still a tank around, but I think if we bring you over here, we'd be in a much better position to start dealing with some of the tanks that we have seen starting to appear up there. And this artillery piece hasn't done anything this turn, but I think we might just want to keep you around, rest you up a little bit, and that I think should be fine. And you guys do reinforce, please. Just buying reinforcements is already starting to feel a little bit more difficult than it used to. We might just be able to do some damage over here. No, doesn't look like it. Right, so over here then. We've got the Spitfire there. We've got the Typhoon over here. Do we want to move the Typhoon up to start clearing this out? Now I think the threat over here is starting to look very real. So I think what we want to do is start reducing the enemy here. At least a little bit. So that would be sort of equal. You can lash out here, do a lot of damage there. Don't want to move out further though, because we've seen what's going on, what's going to happen with these guys. Move you back in, let's reinforce you there. I think we've dealt with you. Oh, this artillery piece hasn't done anything this turn around. Oh, well, that's too bad. Well, I think we can leave it for now. Could reinforce you, but that'd be costing us basically all of our Australian reinforcement points. Let's try to get rid of these guys. Of course they are withdrawing instead of dying as they should. Let's move up the British over here. Start to do some damage against these guys. They're in the river. I think that was a very good attack. Decent attack at the very least. You guys could move up, but I think I would like to rest you up for now. And then this heavy infantry, probably you want to deal with these guys down here. With these tanks. Yes. You need to reinforce. You're fine where you are. I think we could move you up somewhere, so basically that you just sacrifice you and get yourself out of the way. Okay, let's move you guys up over here. We'll not attack, but you'll be basically in the way a little bit. Right. We could also tempt them to come in and attack this AA piece. And honestly, I think I would be fine with that, because right now our AA situation looks sort of okay, so I'm not too concerned about that, actually. So I think that'd be fine. Most of these guys look fine, so you know what? Honestly, I'm gonna land over here in this airfield. Australian infantry over here. Honestly, I think these guys do sort of have it under control for now, so we're going to bring these guys in towards the center line over here, hoping to do some damage there. And I suppose this support piece, we're going to move at least into the woods and hope to get it out of the way a little bit with that. You're going to rest up a turn so that you can gain some reorganization. Same with you. You're fine where you are. And then this Spitfire. Okay, I'm not sure this does anything for us. At least it might increase our abilities. We are being outflanked here, I'm starting to realize, with these Gurkhas. Nice. Whatever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be sort of encircled with these guys. I think the best bet might be to come down here. And start a fighting withdrawal, basically. Yeah. That's basically it. So, I'm feeling we've made some progress over here. We've defeated an entire unit over here. We have reduced the fortifications of these guys here to basically 0. We've kicked this tank back at least a little bit and defeated some of its support units. We've weakened this flank, although not entirely defeated it, at the cost of losing quite a couple of units there ourselves as well. And we've been entirely kicked out of this position. Over here on this side, I think we are not really stable, we can't really say that, but at least we have dealt quite a couple of good blows against them. Over here with these guys, I'm not too sure whether the special boaters really have paid themselves off for now, but it's nice to have someone in their rear and just start to do some damage over there, so it's not too shabby an attack, but still. Yeah, I'm really concerned about the position up here with all of these guys up there. And that was a very harsh position over there. And down here, I mean, they are starting, and this is still a lot of units. They've got still a lot of tanks, a lot of good units over here, and they're just waiting to put pain on us. So, yeah, we're gonna have to be extremely careful with that. I'm slightly concerned because our fighter situation just doesn't seem to support us that much. So. One of the things that we could think about is whether it might have been more sensible to do something like a ferry battle, which does have what, 10 infantry, 10 land infantry attack, whereas the Typhoon has same actually. So why would I be choosing the ferry battle? You're doing a little bit of shock damage. The Typhoon is actually slightly better. And strategic bombers, lots of shock damage, but not so much against the infantry, of course. Yeah. Well, I think this is a good place to put in a cut though, so do leave a like and all of that, and I hope to see you around next time. Bye bye.